So we'll see what happens. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next topic here, and we are going to go on to the NBA as Adrian Griffin got the hammer a couple of days ago. And I want to circle back and talk about this topic because it's a very trendy topic right now in the sport of basketball. And the Bucks are going to hire Doc Rivers to be their head coach in replacement of Adrian Griffin. And the question that we have is Doc Rivers the main man or the man, to guide Milwaukee Bucks to a title? And cousin, the mic is yours.
Man, this is rough, man. Doc Rivers' resume over the past 10 years has been nothing short but pathetic, in my personal opinion. It's been really bad. I mean, coming back from 3-1 multiple times on his teams, underachieving multiple times, not getting to a conference championship, Western Conference Finals or Eastern Conference Finals, not getting to the finals. He got Giannis, he got Dame, these right. They already got a winning record and all of these things, and they want to bring him there for defense alone, and I get it. But Doc, in crucial moments, in crucial playoff moments, I haven't seen his genius rise to the surface. So is he the guy? Me, I would say he could be the guy, right? But his resume haven't just shown it over the past 10 years. So I'm giving him a second chance. Like, oh, he did, okay. Maybe Doc Rivers could do it. And he tried with Joel Embiid. He tried with Blake Griffin and CP3, and it just never, you know what I mean? Kawhi Leonard never worked out. And these are some great players. He got Giannis, another great player. Is it going to work out? And I'm telling y'all right now, if it don't, and he got the opportunity right now, and if it don't work out this year, I don't worry about next year. This year, he should not coach no more. Okay, that's it. He's right. Cuzzo just said it. Sometimes the league passes you by. Maybe it passed Doc Rivers by because he just got too many holes in his resume over the past 10 years that just looks horrible to me. And the fact that he got this opportunity, you know, I applaud Milwaukee. Hey, you know, another African-American coach. I get it. But, man, I don't know. I got a question mark on my head. I don't know. I would like to think Doc Rivers could do it, but I still say I don't know. And that means win a championship. Not go to the finals, not go to a conference champ. Win the championship this year. He got to do that.
Yeah, man. I would like to jump in here, and then Zay, feel free. You know, I think for me, when you talk about this firing, the NBA really, and you know, I know you watch 3 sports really, or maybe 4. The NBA, NFL, boxing, UFC. That's my 4. And a little bit of tennis, you know.
Tennis,
you know, a little bit of tennis, you know. I like, you know, some guys over there. But I don't know if there's any sport that treats its coaches like the NBA, you know. And as I break it down, we know that this is a players' league, you know, and at that, a star-driven league. And Giannis had put a lot of pressure on the Bucks organization to build a contender to win multiple championships. You know, he came out, kept talking, and it put a lot of pressure. And in that pressure, they made a big mistake by trading for Damian Lillard. It was a pointless trade, you know, to give up a guy like Jrue Holiday, who was one of the best defenders in the league, can guard the backcourt, can guard Dame in a playoff game and lock him up. He did before. Okay, and Grayson Allen, you know, one of those defenders, gritty guys on the team. You let him go as well in the process. And when you think about what worked for Milwaukee back in the day, it was the fact that they had this rim protection with Brook Lopez and Giannis. Okay, and now they sacrificed that type of, you know, rim protection with this new defensive scheme that they have, where they are aggressive and it leaves them susceptible, in the back area. And, you know, they pay for their aggression. And they don't have the roster to play that type of style because you're missing guys like Jrue Holiday and Grayson Allen. And now when you look at it, it's really a roster issue. But once again, these organizations are adhering to these superstar players' demands, and they're making stupid, you know, roster construction decisions because of those guys. Look at the Russell Westbrook trade in LA. It happens time and time again. Look at Brooklyn. You know, I want Steve Nash, right? Because Giannis said he wanted Adrian Griffin. I want Steve Nash. Steve Nash wasn't equipped to handle those guys, and he ended up getting fired. Same thing over here. A lot of people is comparing this to David Blatt in 2016, where they was in the number 1 seed, and he ended up getting fired. And yeah, the NBA is the league that treats its coaches like this. I mean, think about in the NFL right now. You know, you have Sean McDermott and Nick Sirianni and Mike McCarthy, who all had bad losses in the playoffs, and everybody wants them to go, and they're all coming back, right? Think about Mike Tomlin, for crying out loud. He hasn't won a playoff game since 2017, and yet he never sniffed the hot seat. Only in the NBA is that we have a culture like this because there's no accountability to these players. Now, in regards to Doc Rivers, and if he's the man to guide Milwaukee Bucks to a championship, it's like Mike Tomlin. He hasn't won nothing in the last decade since that 2008 championship. Right. You know, blown leads after blown leads, and, you know, they up and they're not up. And, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Last year on the 76ers, Joel Embiid and James Harden had a very elite pick and roll game, and that was their formula to win until it got stagnant, until Boston made the necessary adjustments to defend the pick and roll, and it forced them to make adjustments that they didn't have the answers for. And maybe he'll get the best out of this group as far as Dame and Giannis together as a duo and get them going with the, you know, old school pick and roll. But it's going to flame out eventually, and it's going to come down to these players too at that. So, yeah, we could talk about Doc Rivers and if he's the man for the job, but at the end of the day, we know he's not going to make the adjustments, and we know that it's going to have to come down to Giannis and Dame. Have you been watching Dame in Portland the last couple of years? Okay, like we forgot how bad of a defender he is. When you have Dame and you have Malik on the same floor, I mean, come on, what you expect your defense to be? They never saw a shot they didn't like.
Right.
But they don't defend on the other end. So, yeah, say what you want about this firing, and if it makes sense or not, I'm not really care. I'm here to talk about the root of the issue at hand in the NBA when you talk about the culture of firing guys for winning games, okay? This guy wins 70% of his games. That does not happen in other sports to my acknowledgement. Now, I don't watch hockey. I don't watch the MLB. I watch the NFL, NBA, boxing, and UFC. It doesn't happen in those sports. And that's my take for right now.
Well, we have to look at multiple things, right? Because when we look at the winning record, right, and we see where they're at standings wise, we see where they're winning games. We have to understand it's not about winning and losing games at that point. It's not about he's not a coach that can help win games. Clearly, he is. It's about the guys who are getting paid the most that are complaining about him, and that is where you most focus at the players, because the players ultimately have the power. And we can say that they don't. We can say whatever, but when we talk about two guys and Giannis and Dame Lillard, who are not good perimeter defenders at all. You lose 4 straight games to the Indiana Pacers. You got swept regular season by the Indiana Pacers. You know, you're losing games to the Knicks on Christmas Day. You got a team that's supposed to be high-octane offense. You removed the 2 guys who played defense, gritty defense on the team, and that was Drew Holiday and Grayson Allen. And you assumed that having Dame Lillard would make you still a pinnacle team, a team that to be feared. But it made you the opposite. It made you a weaker team. It made you a team that's more susceptible to three-point shooting, more susceptible to getting drive-bys, putting your center in positions where he has to guard 4 to 5 different people simultaneously because you have no perimeter defenders to stop anybody from getting into the paint. So it puts you in a position where, as a coach, you have to mask different things. You have to tell the star players, yo, we need you to sacrifice. We need you to be emphasized more on defense because we have too many guys getting paid $20+ million and nobody defending. Bobby Portis right now is the best defender on the Milwaukee Bucks. And then after that is Andre Jackson, the rookie from Connecticut. So I think it's interesting what this Bucks team has to go through and endure. To answer the question, is Doc Rivers the man to guide the Milwaukee Bucks to a title? No, he is not.
No,
he's a scapegoat. He is the scapegoat. Adrian Griffin was a scapegoat. Doc Rivers will be a scapegoat again because at the end of the season, when they don't win a championship, or if they don't make an NBA Finals, or if they don't make an Eastern Conference Finals, the scapegoat will be, oh, Doc Rivers came mid-season. He hasn't been well gelled with the team. He hasn't been well acclimated with the team. So we'll give him another year. And then during that next season, they'll see the same issues reoccur. They'll fire him and bring in somebody else. And they'll fire the next person, bring in somebody else. And I think this is the unfortunate notion with not only a team that doesn't have perimeter defenders, but a Damian Lillard team. A team that Dame is on, they don't defend well. All they do is score baskets. All they do is shoot at a high level. All Dame does is shoot at a high level. He doesn't defend well. He doesn't play defense at all. He doesn't give maximum effort on that side of the basketball.
Right.
So his teams always wind up becoming the losers in any game. Like, if he's not scoring 45 a game, then what is Dame really doing for you? Not much. Giannis has to do everything else. And unfortunately, he thought getting a star player next to him will help alleviate some of the scoring responsibilities or responsibilities on his plate, but all it did was add more, because now you need Giannis to not only be a rim protector, but a elite perimeter defender, and also still be aggressive in getting assists, getting rebounds, getting 30 points a game. And you're only adding more to his plate when he's trying to do less. So I think this addition by Doc Rivers is only hindering Doc Rivers, because now he's already playing with his back against the wall for the rest of the season.
Look, all these organizations smart. Have they been watching the game? I mean, we saw the finals. We saw who was in the finals. The Nuggets. You know, they had their two, man show, and they had a great role cast that literally was you could argue they were very important. Guys like Bruce Brown, Christian Brown, all those guys played a role in that championship. And you could argue the same thing about the Bucks championship, in 2021. Yes, we understand that Giannis went off. He had a very, very, monstrous NBA finals, but he had help as well. Jrue Holiday definitely came and helped them.
Yes.
And when they needed him to score, he scored. I understand he's not known for scoring consistently every single night, but his defense, the defense makes up for it. And now when you look at this team, it's just going to have to be Dame having better offense to the point where it overcomes the lack of defensive production that they're missing from a Jrue Holiday trade. And I'm just saying, all these guys smart. Like, why are we still building rosters this way? And that's what happens when you cater to these superstars. You make dumb decisions. You're not thinking rational, because you're making your roster worse. And the only thing they're going to do is blame you at the end and leave you at the end. So I've seen it too many times.
But here's the thing. It's business. So to them, it's like, well, do whatever it takes to keep Giannis, because we want to keep these fans in the seats. Winning a championship is always secondary. Making money is number one to these owners. So the championships, although we as fans win a championship. No, for them it's full of seats. If Giannis leaves, I might not full of seats. You don't like this coach? You want this player? What we have to do to keep Giannis here? Giannis is under 30 years old. And like you said, he'll probably leave anyway. Yeah. But this is how they think. So they thinking about make the money now. And
look at Brooklyn right now, bro. Who the hell is going to Brooklyn right now to watch a game, bro?
Right. But
I had a free ticket a couple months ago. I'm like, hell no, I ain't going to see them bums for free.
Right.
Okay, like, no.
But when they had the star players there, they selling out. out.
And they left.
Owners is thinking, listen, man, hold is Giannis. Giannis got another 5 years, and we can keep him under contract for 5 more years. And his prime, I juiced it as much as I can. If you want to leave after that, leave after that. That's how owners think. They think money first, not championship first.
I mean, look, my last point, man. We saw Dame all these years in Portland. He was a below average defender, but everything is cool because he's scoring the basketball, and everybody's blaming everything. Everybody blame the organization for building around Dame. Oh, you did this, you didn't draft that, you signed that, but we put all the blame on the organization, the front office, but not Dame. And now that Dame is on a team where he's being watched more by the national media, there's more expectations now. Now everybody gets to see that, maybe it is a little bit overrated having a guy like Dame on our roster. But
here's the thing.
You're supposed to know that if you're an evaluator. If you work in the front office, you're supposed to know that.
Yeah. But here's the thing. No matter how great you are as a scorer, right? So if let's say Dame averaged 28 points a game. For Dame to be above average defender, he's going to have to lose 5 points. He's going to have to go to 22 points a game. It's too much energy. There's only very few people that I've seen that can put out the energy offensively and defensively consistently throughout the duration of a season or duration of a career. There's only about 4 people off the top of my head I can name.
Kawhi Leonard is one of those guys that I could think off the top.
Who?
Kawhi Leonard, I could think of the top.
Kawhi Leonard was one of those guys. Kobe was one of those guys. Mike was definitely one of those guys. LeBron.
I'm talking about right now. Kawhi Leonard would be one of those guys at the top.
Yeah, right now. Who? You said Kawhi? Okay. That's it, probably, right? Because nobody really plays defense in the NBA no more. So
yeah, that's the problem. That's a problem. Everybody wants to score the basketball.
So when you got a hero, Holiday, he's a jewel. He wants to play defense.
Yeah. This is what happens. We'll see what happens with Doc Rivers, and if we are able to see him, rewrite his career and rewrite this Dame and Giannis partnership into the right direction, or will we have another classic playoff choke on our hands? We'll see.
Please like and subscribe for all the up-to-date content. You've been slinging shows left and right, slinging content left and right. Please don't miss anything. If you do, like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a question, something you may want to answer, something you may have. All ideas are great ideas. Nothing's a dumb question.